Yeah, the buzzer is underneath. Do you see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, that's it.
see.
Okay.
Does he go to pick up? Hi, Steve. How are you?
Okay, we are live on YouTube. Hi, Steve. Steve just joined us.
Oh, Stephanie was there.
Stephanie was there.
Yeah, she was there.
I was here.
Okay. Now we assuredly have a quorum. Okay, Jack, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to share my screen.
Okay,
And
fantastic. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to the October 2025 TNT meeting, our first of the month. We have two items on the agenda today. We have one dining out application for a sidewalk cafe for Milk and Honey, and then we have a second agenda item on an update by the community liaison on the Fifth Avenue Bridge over the LIRR and CB lines. So with that, start with Milk and Honey.
yes, okay. Yasir, you want to talk a little bit about your application? I have here Milk and Honey Cafe is located at 9402 3rd Avenue. It is a request for a sidewalk cafe with 12 tables and 24 seats on both 3rd Avenue and 94th Street. Milk and Honey has been open since March of 2024. There have been 4 311 noise complaints for this location, but not related to the business operation. Here is a picture of Milk and Honey with their sidewalk cafe setup. They did submit and was shared a layout of the sidewalk cafe, drawing renderings. Their hours of operation are 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday through Saturday. As with their application, we sent over the standard outdoor dining stipulations, which are featured here. I'm just going to quickly stop my share to turn it over to Yasir. If you want to mention anything else that I missed or talk a little bit about your application.
This is Sarah and Yasir.
Okay.
We're husband and wife. We just wanted to say that we are really happy, and we, can stop being, to express our gratitude to the community, because we have so many different businesses, schools. They come to us and they thank us for opening a Milk and Honey and making a neighborhood spot where people could meet. Um, just for a gathering, eating, enjoying life, and everybody happy about our outdoor seating. So we are very hopeful that you could approve and let us to continue um, being successful. Hello.
Yes. Hi.
I'm sorry. I don't know if we have any. If you could hear me well.
Yeah, no, we did. We heard you well. I'm going to turn it over to Jack, see if there are any questions.
I'm sorry. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not a really great speaker.
That's fine. It's okay.
Okay. Well, I guess the first question to you, Josephine. Do we know the status of any 311 complaints in the past for this location?
Yeah, no, there were no 311 complaints. We did check. There were some noise complaints, but they were in the early hours of the morning, unrelated to the business.
Any questions from the committee then?
Stephanie has a question?
Stephanie?
Could we please see the rendering?
Sure.
Thank you. And this is new. There's nothing set up there right now.
There is. Yeah.
Isn't there? That's what, okay,
Right.
that.
Yes.
That's what I was curious about.
So I think this does mirror the plans that were submitted. So it's these smaller tables. It's kind of hard to see, I know, on the.
Yeah, sorry, it's because of the greenery. I think it's a little bit hard to see. It's it's about like 4 tables. Sometimes when it's not so busy, we don't put as many tables. just to give enough space for people to enjoy. It's only we put extra tables once, you see there's about 7. We usually put 4 in the first half, like you could see, right? There were the 7. We usually like put like about 4 just to give enough space and room for everybody to enjoy it.
So-
Unless we're are super duper busy.
But the max number of tables now that you're requesting is 12? That's the
Yes.
10 down 94th Street?
Yes. It's in total. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in total. Yeah. So as you could see, it's behind a traffic light. You could see that's where it starts, right?
Yes.
Yes, Steve?
I'm unfortunately not familiar with it. Is that like an island that's, that the shrubs are on? Or the garden is on? I'm a little bit confused.
It looks like it's a planter.
No, not the planter.
Oh.
Beneath it, it looks like it's a built-up cement. That's holding.
No, it's not a
cement.
You mean this, Steve?
Yeah, the air, see where it looks like almost like it is part of the sidewalk. Okay, I'm talking about.
No, it's a wood, right?
I recognize it's
It's
on the
wood.
corner. I just don't understand, what, is that built like that? Did you build that up a little bit there?
Yeah, it's a same
Was that
The
like,
unit is far away from the side, like from the corner, is a little bit farther away. I mean, it's like almost like 7 feet away from the really corner with the dark area.
Imagine.
it's also wood. Yeah.
forgive me.
No,
Not
it's
the
okay. It's a
planter. I'm
legit
not talking
question.
about the planter. It
No,
looks like
it's a
there's
legit question. of
around
course.
it. It looks
I
like
don't
around
understand.
it that there's an elevated, cement, I
No,
don't
it's,
Can you show it on this? Can you point it?
Yeah, I'm talking about.
You mean that ring, that black ring that's around it?
No, I
It's
think
not a
you
black,
mean
no, I
behind-
see it right now, that
Right.
this is under here, but that's just the lighting that's doing it.
That's the lighting, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, I think it's
Where
just
I
a
was
lighting.
looking,
Yeah,
where I
it's
was
a-
looking, where I
Yeah.
was looking, indicated to me that was like a cement
Oh, I see.
area or something
Right,
like
right.
that. And
No.
now I understand it better by looking at this, and that's the end of my question.
Okay.
All right.
And there's appropriate clearance, correct? Along the
Yes.
sidewalk. Okay.
Yes. And also, as we also indicated, like we don't have like any music. Really, there's no disturbance to the public.
Just out of curiosity, I happen to know a lot of mothers who go to your shop,
Uh-huh.
which is wonderful. So I know that they're bringing strollers. Is that an issue, leaving strollers out on the sidewalk or impediments? Is there a space?
We usually give them enough room inside the cafe.
Okay,
And also, yeah, like we usually give them enough room. And if they wanna, because the one that's along the they're just able to park it with no issue, that and it's not in any it's really is not interfering with the traffic flow,
okay, great, thank you.
of course.
Any other questions? I guess I just want to make a point. Make a point that like with the clearance and everything, it does look a little bit tight, especially on Google Maps. Between like the planter size is like, not the width of it, but kind of not the length of it, but kind of the width of it. It does take a little bit more space than what I'm normally used to seeing, and so the pedestrian walking path down there, I would just double check the schematics there. Especially if you mentioned it's like less than 7 feet to the actual sidewalk
No,
edge.
I mean, if you're more than welcome to come to check, but we made sure that we comply with the requirements, and also we had the inspector coming and they checked, they had no issues.
Yeah. like in the schematics that we received, to the corner,
Yeah.
10 feet, and
Uh-huh.
then from this edge of sidewalk to the planter part, which is part of the sidewalk cafe, it's 8 feet. So I would just double check with that, because 8 feet is the minimum there.
Like I said, we made sure. But if you have any questions and would like to stop by and to measure, we absolutely fine with it.
Any other questions? Okay, all right. I have a motion on the floor from me to approve this application with the stated stipulations. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Okay.
Any
Romeo, you in favor? Okay, go ahead. Yes.
any opposed?
No?
Okay, any abstention or recusals? Okay, motion passes.
Point of order, do we have a quorum?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we have a virtual quorum.
Okay. We will still need a second from the floor. Okay, thank you very much. We
course.
will be voting on this. You're welcome to come to the general board meeting, which was in the letter, which is Tuesday, October 21st at the Fort Hamilton Senior Center, which is on Fort Hamilton Parkway and 99th Street. So you're welcome to come to that meeting as well.
Sure.
Okay,
And
great.
like I said, we are welcome you to stop by anytime. We would love to see all of you. And if you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to either to me or Yasir. His real name is Yasir, but everybody knows him as Max.
Oh, Max. Okay. All
Yes.
right. Thank you so much. It was a
Okay.
pleasure meeting you tonight.
It was a real pleasure meeting you too, guys.
Okay.
So,
Have a good night.
I guess we just gonna just to stop being at the meeting, right? Because you probably
Yes.
discussed all the others.
Yes, we're going on to other things now. Thank you so
No
much.
problem. Sure, sounds good. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much.
Good night. Bye-bye.
All right,
Thank you very
bye-bye.
much.
Okay, Jack. So we have our second item on the agenda, which unfortunately, DOT alerted us that they would not be here tonight, but they sent along some slides and asked me to share with the committee. And that relates to the Fifth Avenue Bridge construction update. We did send this notification out in our newsletter. The community consultant came by the district office, and was supposed to be here tonight and apologized. But this is the notification that was sent out, and that these changes just changed. The traffic pattern changes on 65th Street between 4th and 6th Avenues, a continuation of the traffic pattern that has been taking place. This is a little bit more intricate, that requires traffic agents. So the changed traffic pattern will be on 65th Street between 4th and 6th Avenues. And it will be in effect for 5 months. New York City DOT Division of Bridges has begun implementing the traffic pattern changes on 65th between 4th and 6th. There is a continuation of the traffic pattern changes on 65th and on the 5th Avenue Bridge that were announced in late August. The contractor has completed barrier placement along that segment of 65th Street. Traffic control agents will be on site to assist the movement of traffic to accommodate traffic movements around the active work zone. Sections of the center concrete median have been removed to allow for eastbound motorists to use the north side of the divided roadway for a portion and then return to the south side of the roadway just before the 6th Avenue intersection. Two-way traffic is maintained on 65th Street at all times. The traffic pattern will be in effect for about 5 months. It is part of the start of the phased work to replace the aging structure, the aging bridge, major components, and reinforcement of its foundation. With most of the foundation work completed below deck, the project is now entering the phase where work is scheduled on the deck, roadway portion of the structure, while continuing to complete the foundation. So that's pretty much it on the bridge update, Jack.
Did they mention anything regarding like I think the Fifth Avenue has a share right? Do they mention anything regarding redirection there, the bike lanes?
No, but we can certainly ask that question. I think Carmen, you had mentioned that they moved bike
Bikes on Fifth Avenue.
yeah, that's probably, now that I'm thinking about it, to accommodate this traffic diversion change. But I will ask that question, Jack.
Probably to Fourth Avenue, right? That would probably make the most sense.
Yeah. My book.
This is on the side of my church. That's how you get into the parking lot, or you have 65th Street and around.
Okay, any other
I see.
questions that we want to send, Jane?
Yes, I see.
Yeah, I just, of course, I wanted to make mention, depending on where that is, homes that live on 65th Street in that area, some of them may be zoned to PS 971, which is down on 4th Avenue, and some may be zoned actually to PS 170, which is over on 6th Avenue and about Ovington. So just to be mindful, if this is going to be for 5 months, I don't know if they have any additional crossing guards or things like that. You said that it would involve traffic control agents. So
Yeah.
usually the agents are there like for rush hour times, but they may also need to be aware of the school day and that there may be, will enforcement be throughout the day, or is it just during like rush hour time?
That's a great question. I'll have to ask them. I mean, typically the traffic control agents are there during, work hours. Sometimes they're also there 24 hours, depending on the movement. When they did 65th and 6th Avenue, they were pretty much all day. But he did not mention that, so I will ask that question, the hours of the TCAs.
Yeah, because 65th and 7th is definitely zoned to 170. And the 6th Avenue, I believe, is kind of like the changeover. Some side of the street may be zoned to 170. The other side of the street may be zoned to 971. But either way, there might be families that are in need of assistance crossing those streets with all of this happening.
Good information. That's a good one.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Jane. Okay.
Any
Um,
other potential questions for DOT? This is basically just informational for us, right? There's nothing for us to
Right.
follow up with them on.
Yeah, just informational.
Just to piggyback on that, if they would notify the schools as well, the schools that are in the area, so that this way, because I don't know offhand if there are any pre-K sites or, in that immediate vicinity. So it would just be, a good courtesy to reach out to the schools so that they're aware for their families.
Okay, will do. I will call him first thing in the morning. Thank you, Jane.
Can you tell them to look, because my church is on, you go up 65th, then you go
Mhm.
into 6th to get into the parking lot.
Right.
I'm trying to read this and I'm trying to figure out, can you still make that change to get into the parking lot?
You could still make it. Yeah.
You can make the
Yeah.
change.
Yeah, it's limited to 65th. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, from the diagram, I don't think there's any limitation there.
Can you just go like back to the diagram for a second?
So you see on the left, the right-hand portion of the roadway is closed. So traffic will be limited to one lane in each direction, with westbound and eastbound traffic. I was there last week. It didn't start yet. So it's supposed to start any day now, if it hasn't already today.
It's
Any
usually,
day.
it's
Any day
usually a
now.
bottleneck on 6th Avenue,
Yeah,
like 5 hours, just because of the way the light changes.
right,
and-
65th and 6th. It's also a high crash
Yeah.
corridor, 65th and 6th. I mean, 65th Street generally, but. So it is a concern because it is a heavy trafficked area. And, when he stopped in, he assured us that there would be traffic control for safety and especially the first few weeks, but it's going to be in 5 months. It's a long period of time. Agreed. Jack, DOT also sent us, and I did send this to you in an email, but haven't shared the committee, that the Locker NYC pilot is coming to CB10. We did ask for DOT rep, but haven't heard back yet, so I thought I would share it. Seems pretty interesting. So Go Locker and New York City DOT are collaborating to provide shared use lockers. It's a pilot program that started about last year, and it's just coming to Bay Ridge. The lockers serve as self-service access points to facilitate the collection of packages from online orders. When a package is deposited into a shared use locker, the recipient is promptly notified by text or email, and it includes a unique single-use access code. So anyone who's picked up from an outside location, it kind of works the same way. They're free of charge for the public 24/7 with participating carrier companies. And DOT has authorized Go Locker to directly engage with property owners to finalize the placement of lockers. Property owners adjacent to the proposed lockers have approved the installation for the following locations in Bay Ridge: 8126 Fifth Avenue, 8101 7th, and 558 86th Street. So in their notification, they provided a little schematic of the what the lockers look like.
Are they always outside? There's a couple of questions that came to me but I forgot to send them back to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, are they always outside?
The ones I saw were all outside.
Honestly, that seems problematic. But I've also never been offered a Go Locker as a package destination before, so I'm not sure like what kind of retailers what offer. Has anyone like been experienced with this before?
I just hope there's a camera facing it.
Yeah, I think we have all those similar questions. I'm curious about vandalism. I'm curious about.
I'm in favor.
Whether vandalism. It seems interesting. It's never been offered.
Look, we have package theft. That's a big complaint in the community. Porch pirates, but it's done in collaboration. It is a pilot, so right now it's in the study realm. So hopefully there will be a report at some point. Again, we did ask for a presentation. They did say they would ask for a presentation from Go Locker to come here to just so we could ask some questions. I'm sorry, Sam, do you have your hand up?
Thanks, Josephine. The locations that are approved, are these locations that the city has decided to put lockers in, or are these locations that the property owners have approved to put lockers on?
So it was a collaboration. The property owners did give approval for the locations. But I guess DOT made that initial contact with the property owners, but the 3 property owners are have approved the pilot. Jane?
Yeah, so is this the kind of situation where the property owners are getting some kind of a stipend for having this in their area? Because that was something that had come up with the city bikes, that people were questioning or asking whether, if that's going to be by their property, is there some kind of contractual agreement? And we were told no, that there was not something involved with City Bike. But I was just wondering if that's something that's involved with this, because as Jack pointed out, it is on the sidewalk. I mean, we can use, I know Staples over here has the Amazon lockers.
Yeah, sorry.
I think Rite Aid used to have them back in the day. But, so I'm familiar with that, but I'm not familiar with this that's on the sidewalk, as Jack said.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can definitely ask that question. I'm really hoping that we can have a rep come and speak to us about it.
Yeah, I am also a little bit confused with this announcement because I'm looking at the Go Locker website and there's like 5 locations in CB10 already on this 8319 3rd Avenue, at Key Food at 7414 3rd Avenue, Super Fresh, both of them, the one on Bay Ridge as well as the one on 13th, and then one on Fort Hamilton. So like they're already here, presumably in the buildings. I've never seen them, but there's 5
I've
of
never
them
seen
already.
them, and I shop at some of those stores.
So it's a little confusing because the announcement is saying 3 different locations and the
Oh.
5 locations I'm seeing on the site itself.
Yeah, I don't know, Jack, because
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to Superfresh. I haven't seen, unless there's somewhere I don't know where they are. I haven't.
At the end.
I don't know.
How many lockers do they have per?
The only notification we received was for those 3 locations.
No, but how many lockers per location?
Well, it's one set of lockers.
Yeah, okay, how many?
Oh, I don't know.
Because somebody would rent each one of those, meaning that people would be coming up to there a lot, so I would assume if they get a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Are they notified, people who have the lockers?
Well, when you get a package, if you have, authorize it to go, like you have options now when you're ordering online. So if that's the site that you went to, once it's delivered, you'll get an email
Okay.
notification to go pick it up. These are all good questions, and I think it'd be nice to have them come and speak to us about it.
So I think I think we can save them for when they actually come to speak with us. I want to talk a little bit about like next time's meeting. So our next meeting is November 6th, which will have, I believe, 2 items on the agenda, right, Josephine? One is on the Verrazano Bridge ramp redesign, which will
Yes.
be in person, which is why I wanted to call it out. This is at the senior center, and second agenda item on that is intro 1138, which is about daylighting, which hopefully will have Councilmember Brennan's office speak to us.
Yeah,
Depending on
and-
if they have a member come speak with us, it might be
And DOT. I'm sorry.
DOT.
Yeah, so November 6th, there's gonna be a presentation on the renovations to the Verrazano Bridge. The deck replacement, it's a very big project. Very big project that's gonna take a few years to complete, but it's gonna be a lot of noise, a lot of different parts. And so the TBTA is ready to present that to the committee and to the community. So we're gonna do that in person near the fort, near the bridge, right where it's happening, on November 6th. There's also legislation about universal daylighting, that's been before the city council. It hasn't progressed. There's been New York City DOT issued a report on it. There was just an op-ed in the Daily News about it, and the city council is going to send someone to speak to us about. And we've also invited New York City DOT to come speak about it. So that's coming up. Also coming up is the MTA is going to be presenting alternate suggestions of the B9 and B64 routes near Zavarian. We don't have a date yet for that.
And then, Josephine, do we have dates for the truck rerouting?
No, we don't. We're still waiting for DOT, the truck route redesign, and there was one other issue, right, Jack?
Well, there's truck route. I have on my list truck route redesign, the overall Brooklyn bus network redesign.
Oh, and then the overall Brooklyn bus is later this fall.
Okay, exciting. The 4th Avenue bike lane, 4th Avenue study, traffic study. Yeah, I think that's everything out of my list. Those 2 things.
So we'll have a busy committee. Staley has his hand raised.
Yeah. Do you mind if I spend just a few minutes bringing up something since we have a little extra time?
It's up to you.
Sure. Take
Okay.
take 5 minutes.
Just related to the dining out process. One of the things that we had done last year is we added some stipulations about the valet parking and no smoking. And I was wondering if we could do some things to kind of build on that. 2 things specifically. One I think is really easy, and one is a little more involved. The easy one, as I noticed, is a lot of our stipulations in our application are reinforced with questions. They like, do you plan to not have smoking? Do you plan to not have outdoor music? There are no questions that reinforce the valet parking or delivery stipulations that we added. So the first thing is I was wondering is if we could add those. I don't know if we have to do like a formal motion to do that to add.
Well, let's look at the stipulations. I'm not really sure what year.
Yeah, it's easier if we look at it together.
So the stipulations say,
So we added,
so I'll just read it. Restaurants shall enforce no smoking regulations in all outdoor areas and shall observe New York City Fire Department codes, including no barbecuing, no open flames, no fire pits. Smoking, including but not limited to cigars, pipes, cigarettes, electronic cigarettes, marijuana, and smokeless tobacco shall not be permitted in any outdoor cafe area. Signs necessary to comply with this requirement must be prominently and conspicuously posted in those areas, and ashtrays shall be prohibited. And then for valet parking, restaurants shall not reserve or block street parking spaces for valet parking or other uses through any means, including but not limited to cones, signs, curb markings, as detailed in the traffic rules of the City of New York 4-087. Unofficial reserving of parking space shall be unlawful for any person to reserve or attempt to reserve a parking space or prevent any vehicle from parking on a public street through his or her presence in the roadway. The use of hand signals or placing any box, can, got cut off, crate, hand cart, dolly, or any other device, including unauthorized pavement, curb, or street marking or signs in the roadway.
right, and then we added 10 as well.
And 10,
About
shall not permit staff, LA services, or delivery vendors to block crosswalks, adjacent bus stops, or other restricted parking areas.
which is perfect, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at the actual application that the restaurants fill out, almost all of those stipulations are kind of backed up with a question where we actually ask them to circle and agree to the stipulation, but 9 and 10 are not. So one, I was
But they sign this stipulation, so we print this out,
right.
and then they sign to agree to it.
Well, my point is that we reinforce the others with by actually asking them about them on the application. And I think it might be helpful to help reinforce the valet parking by also just asking them about it on the application. Like we do all the other stipulations. It's almost like we changed the stipulations, but we didn't really pull along the questions to match the new stipulations. If that makes sense. It's kind of easier if you look at the application itself and see what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
You're saying, yeah.
Yeah. It's
So-
almost psychological.
Well, it is, you're saying, okay, these are like kind of secondary,
Right.
right,
Yeah.
and they're not, so, I see your point.
Yeah. I don't know what we'd need to do in order to do that. Like, I don't know if that's be like formally approved or.
Well, I mean, since they're on the stipulations, I think it's just an edit to the application.
Okay. That's
I don't think it needs anything else.
yeah. Just sort of reinforcing 9
Okay.
and 10.
Yeah, maybe putting them on equal footing with the other.
Exactly.
I see the point. People can look at it and say, well, they don't really care about that one that much.
Okay,
And,
I think that's a simple edit. They signed it anyway. I mean, I think that's fine.
And then this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before you proceed, I have
Sorry.
a question about, I'm sorry, Jack,
Go
regarding
ahead.
stipulations, particularly with valet. What is our recourse? Because 4th Avenue, 3rd Avenue, I have seen numerous restaurants place cones outside, block bus stops, other restricted parking areas. How do we respond to this? Does it take a certain number of phone calls from residents? Does it take a board member to observe this? What is our recourse?
For restaurants that have signed the stipulation agreement, it's if we request enforcement. That's what we do. If we want, we could reach out to the restaurant. The licenses are held by New York City DOT. And so it's,
I don't want to start a campaign against the restaurants, but there are some egregious actors.
I see your point.
And it's repetitive. And what concerns me about writing more and more stipulations, or at least, and this doesn't speak to what you suggested, it almost undermines our position because we create the stipulations, we take a position, but then there's no follow-up, no enforcement. I'm not saying that you don't follow.
no,
up.
we're not an enforcement
Right,
agency. It is very frustrating, even with the liquor licenses. It's very
We're
frustrating.
not an enforcement agency
Agency.
in the strictest sense of the term, but a reminder that they have to reapply a parent, occasionally, would be, one way to go. Yes, you understand that this is something you have to reapply for. How often is it? Every 2 years? Something like that?
I think four.
Okay, but even if it's four,
Right, right.
all right, I'm just saying, because you can't threaten them with anything, but you can certainly just remind them of that. That you sign the stipulations, which are, every 4 years, will be reconsidered.
Right.
That kind of thing. So is that what you're talking about? Something of that nature?
Yes, well, actually, it actually leads into the second thing I was going to mention, which is something that I'd emailed you and Dorothy about, which is giving them some materials to remind them of the stipulations. And I actually brought them with me. I brought visual
Of
aids.
course you did.
Yes. So, So I think we're not an enforcement agency, right? So I think what we can do is things that are positive, right? Like I think that the application process, just like tonight, is usually sort of a positive process with these restaurants. They're eager to be good neighbors, and I think it's a perfect opportunity to hand them some materials to reinforce what we're talking about. So Josephine pointed out to me that materials we create here would have to go through like the legal department. There's an approval process and stuff, but I think it's worth discussing. The city, fortunately, I didn't realize this at the time when I first sort of floated this idea. The city actually already makes a
Right.
no smoking
And
sign.
most of our
Yeah.
places have actually that sign.
Right.
I just noticed it, that exact sign.
But it's
Yeah.
kind of like psychological. It's almost like, hey, congratulations on your application. Here's 5 no smoking signs. You don't even have to print them. You can just put them up. This I made, so this is something that we would have to generate, and this is something that the Valley Parkers could keep at their little like desk that they use, or up by the keys where they hang the cars, or where they hang the cars, up by the cabinet where they hang the keys. Yeah. But that's something that is not official. That's something that would require like an approval process. But just a little reminder card.
So what I've learned just from being on the committee is that these, it's not the restaurants that hire they hire
Right.
Hire
We hire
a
a company.
And I just to add one more thing, I want to take over I want to hear everybody's thoughts. There's basically one company that does almost all of this valet parking. And I keep telling Josephine, I actually called them one night because I was really annoyed about the valet parking. And the owner called me back like 5 minutes later from California and was super nice. And like he's like, I'm gonna take care of it. I'm calling my guys, I'm gonna fix this problem. And it appeared that he did, at least that night. So I think that something like this could also be given to the Valley company as
So you
well.
can do it in a
Yeah.
positive way.
In a positive way.
In a positive
Yeah.
way by saying, here, we have
Yeah.
some things to help you along, make sure that
Exactly.
So
everything.
Well,
I see. Sorry,
I have
one
not
second.
had the most good responses from the valet. I've been
So I
cursed.
see. Sorry,
I've been yelled
Sandy
at.
has had his
Yeah.
hand up for some time.
I'm just saying, Jack, I mean, I want to say openly that I've tried to speak to the valet company
Oh, really?
and I've been yelled
Yeah,
at.
that one.
You must have, and maybe you have a nicer way about you. I don't know.
all the single.
I did call. We've had meetings in the past,
Wow.
at the district office level. We've had to ask for strict enforcement. We've been successful in some instances and others, and even the ones that we've had successes with revert back. But I'll turn it back to you, Jack. I'm sorry.
Anyways, I just saw Sandy had his hand
Oh,
raised for some
Sandy.
time.
Oh, Sandy, you're on
Muted,
mute.
Sandy.
Thank you. The one thing I want the committee to be mindful of is that we do have a budget for the district office. So printing anything to give to these establishments or the valets just come out of our budget. So I just want to make sure that we're not going over our budget, or down the line we're going to be left without money. I would suggest that if you want to give any of this information to the establishments or the valets, we email it to them and have them print it out, because I'm just mindful that we have enough money to make it through the year.
Yeah, the no smoking sign is an easy one to email out, and I think I went to 3. I just happened to go walking around, I saw 3 of them actually had that exact sign up in.
It's right on the city's website. I just didn't, I actually didn't realize they had it. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I'll take a look at the other one. I mean,
just send it to you.
yeah, printing it out. I don't have a laminating machine, but just emailing it out. I don't have an issue with
That
that
makes
at
sense.
all. I think the biggest concern is compliance and how do you know, to your point, how do you do that? It's very difficult
Oh,
in some locations.
just quickly, how feasible is it to also have the valet company or a representative be a signatory to the stipulations? Does that make sense? Does that not, you really can't?
I mean, I don't see the statutory requirement. DOT is not gonna,
Well, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
I don't know how to do, how we would
Yeah.
do that. Have to think about that.
Just about, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess it isn't. I mean, I'm coming back to the fact that it is still like an enforcement issue, and we really haven't spoken with um, the 68 precinct on this at all.
Well,
Right.
we do speak to them actually. When we receive a complaint about valet parking, which is often, we do hand it over to the precinct. We've had many, many meetings in the past about this, and I think one of the most frustrating issues has been just a recurring nature. It gets better for a little bit of time and then it goes back. It gets better for a little bit of time and then, it goes back. But certain things like, for example, hook cones, that's unacceptable. We've had meetings, we've had pictures, it's very challenging to say that.
I'm curious to see any kind of report from the 68 precinct around the aftermath there, right? Like if it keeps on coming up and it's like the same 1, 2, or 3 companies, however many there are, like that honestly must make it easier rather than harder, right? If it's the same bad actors over and over again.
I'm sure I'm sure it's a low priority for the 68. I mean, as it probably should be. I mean, if they're worried about like, major crime, valet parking's probably low on that, Anyway, I mean, I think it's worth focusing on what we can do instead of saying, well, I wish other agencies would do things. I mean, we can ask them, but we can't force them to do anything. I think this is the sort of thing that is a small thing, but something that we can actually do ourselves, which is why I'm sort of floating this idea.
I mean, I'm happy to send the no smoking one. That's easy. I'll take, we could take a look at that and see,
What would be the process for doing this? Like we have to get kind of like approved and signed off on.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take a look at it. I haven't seen it yet. In the past, when we've tried to do valet, issues because there are different rules and regulations and some community boards have been sued, we run things through, legal before we post any adherence to any rule or regulation, make sure that it's okay. Steve, you could always review it too. That's our
No, I'm
great
just
attorney.
looking at it, I'm saying, to me, putting up the signs, that's one thing, but if they get direct reminders from the community board, and they recognize that in some way, you explain to them that when you were here, you agreed to these things, and you remind them that they come up again for it in the future. You're not threatening, you're not doing anything, but what you're doing is you're saying to them, just remember, you made, and add that, you have agreements. Forget about, they know what the agreements are. You don't have to pack them up. You don't have to spend the money to tell them that you can't smoke in their places, all right? They know what the agreements are. I think what it is that if it gets a little bit out of hand with somebody, a reminder that they've made agreements with the community board should be sufficient. And if it's not, well, then you have a right to consider that the next time it comes up.
And again, I think this is a like a positive way to do that, to say, hey, just to remind you of our stipulations on this, and we've attached this thing that you can give to your valet operators, just to remind them as well. I think it's all like a positive way of doing it,
So perhaps just to move forward, so I see your hand, Carmen, I'll come back to you. So we add the questions to reinforce the stipulations. I think that makes a lot of sense. We can attach the NYC health sign, it's already created from the city. I think to really move forward on this enforcement / positive action here, can we just take a look at the 2024, 2025 applications we did approve? Which one of those have, valet messaging on them, stipulations on them, and just see from the 311 information or any other information whether those restaurants are continuing to impact the community in a negative way through valets, and just make sure we are looking at the actual problem. I assume we are, but making sure like the actual restaurants who are not enforcing any valet issues are actually the ones that we have agreements with. And then from there, we can proceed with, what was just mentioned around like, hey, reminding them that they're on a 4-year cycle here, that the agreement is with the community.
I agree.
Carmen?
With the stipulations, the first thing that came to mind, with what you were saying, was at the end of the stipulations, putting something in a different typeface, saying the failure to follow these stipulations can result in the loss or suspension of your liquor license, just,
Oh, can't do that.
you can't do that?
Yeah, because we're not the agency that issues
Yeah,
either
you
the
can't-
liquor license or the,
You can't express the law.
You could say non-renewal of the outdoor dining application.
or our support for,
Our
we're
support for.
advisory, so we don't issue the license. I
Sure.
mean,
No, but I like that, like.
That language.
Our support was, like predicated on.
Yeah, and I'm even thinking like even
That's
putting
a good
like
idea.
a little
Yeah,
thing that they
that's-
have to initial,
That's
to
right.
say you read this. you
And
know.
it's not, but even that kind of thing, they know what they've done, and clearly we have records of that kind of thing. And you don't wanna make it too adversarial, what you wanna do is remind them. And, repeatedly, because after a while, a year and a half later, you're not thinking about it, you've been doing all this stuff, and you say, well, but I like the idea is that this is on recall that this is on a 4-year cycle.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Some
And if
kind of
they're
reminder,
doing really
yeah.
good, they'll think twice.
I think in terms of timelines, Josephine, we can probably issue that kind of notification reminder sometime in February, March, right when the period of setting up the outdoor stalls starts.
Yeah,
And
and
back up.
I could send this, within a week or so. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just, easy enough. And I mean, I'll take a look. I didn't see the second part. The no smoking is the easiest, that's a pre-formatted and the other we'll take a look at.
But it's
Okay.
to a extent, people just come out there and they just start smoking, okay? And, they're not even aware that they're not allowed to smoke there, and I think that's the kind of thing that I would appreciate it if you would remind the people that no smoking is permitted. Just to reinforce it, that's all you're doing is asking them to reinforce it with
Right.
their patron.
Absolutely, absolutely, it's true.
It's like
Okay.
a center.
Okay,
The new senior center, there's a sign that says no smoking. In front of the building, like 25 feet, you have to like really move away, and it's amazing how many seniors smoke. I'm like, I
all
feel like
right.
I'm in high school when I come out and I'm like.
All right, Jack.
All
I think we have a good plan. Thank
We
you,
have a good plan
Sam.
for
Yes,
the
you
rest
have a
of
good plan.
the fall. All right.